Hello there. So today the TV series we are going to review is It's Okay to Not Be Okay, and it's a Korean show, and it is one of the best I have seen in recent times. Okay, so it's not your typical TV show. It's not your typical series. It's not a very happy-go-lucky sort of a show. It's got depth to it, which is it sort of deals with mental issues and mental health, and it does with so much nuance and so much detail to like attention to detail that you're just left wondering how beautifully they have presented the whole thing. So there's two basic aspects of this whole show. One is the illustrated, the animated parts of the show, which are like the storybooks, right? And it's divided into chapters, and each chapter is the beginning of a storybook. It starts like a story, and a children's fairy tale, by the way, and then you sort of correlate it to whatever is happening in the story. And one of the things you'll realize if you're an avid Korean show enthusiast, you'll realize that a lot of the characters seem to the arc develops over years. So a lot of the times people who meet as and form bonds in the future have met at some point in the past, which is then revealed eventually. So this story, there are two main characters, right? And they have met in the past. And it's all interwoven with such intricacy and detail. Like, for example, they speak of sleep paralysis. There's like this indirect sleep paralysis, how trauma affects people. Then there's this autistic character. Then they're at a psychiatric hospital. And so there's layers to it. There's actual layers to it, which you sort of unravel with each passing day. And there's revelations for every character. Every single character has an arc. It's not like, oh, these are the main characters and they have a storyline and the other characters are just there to support them. That is not a thing in this show. Every character sort of has an arc. Everybody starts somewhere and ends somewhere. Everybody sort of helps each other grow in whatever way is required. Now, this was like a sort of an overview sort of a thing. I'm going to get into the spoiler part of the review. And so I'm gonna sort of do this. I have this list of characters written down. But it's basically, the show is about emotional healing, right? And it starts off with two brothers, one of whom is autistic, right? And they constantly move from one town to another, to another, to another, because the older one, who is autistic, has witnessed his mother's murder, and he's afraid of being killed as well. And obviously that's trauma, right? So he runs away. They move constantly to avoid the older brother's trauma. The younger one is a psychiatric caregiver, and it's said that he doesn't stay at jobs very often, for very long, because they're constantly moving, of course. So it is while working in that hospital he meets the children's book author, who is our main lead female character, and that is Ko Moon Young, and she is antisocial. So she has a personality disorder. So now we've been introduced to three things: trauma, and then we have autism, and then we have antisocial personality disorder. Now, then there's this other line. There's obviously the romantic aspect as usual, but then again, like I said, the murder of the mother of these two brothers. Now, the murder is also sort of like a mystery because nobody knows who committed it. So then that's one storyline. Then there's the romantic storyline, and then there's the self healing and self sort of realization, self analysis storyline. Then there's the autistic brother storyline. And so everybody has their own growth, and they all have their whole own thing. But one of the things you'll realize when you're watching the show from the beginning to the end, and you'll see the growth. Like with each episode, the characters sort of evolve. And like in the beginning, the lady with the antisocial personality disorder is terrible at communication, and she's angry, and she does things instinctually, and she's just impulsive, like crazy impulsive. But then by the end of it, when she finds out some very major things, she sort of becomes this, she communicates. She says, I am not in a place where I want to speak to you right now. I will get to you. I'll talk to you when I'm in an okay frame of mind. And she walks away instead of just rushing out or acting rashly. Similarly, there's another element. There's a mother-daughter relationship at play here as well. And the mother-daughter relationship with the antisocial personality disorder lady. So it's her mother's relationship with her and how that impacted her personality and her as a whole. So it's an onion, and you're unraveling the layers, and there are moments when you'll be frustrated and you'll be angry and you'll want to cry. And it's not a light watch. Again, I would say this, it's not a light watch. It really is not. But there's a lot of symbolism. There's symbolic representations. There's things going on which sort of make you go, oh, there's that. That was interesting. And there's also this realization that we might feel like we're alone, but there are people who sort of are there for us, who want to be there for us. There's different kinds of problems or mental health issues discussed. There's domestic violence, there's alcoholism, there's gambling addictions, there's PTSD, and all of these are represented in the many different characters or the patients at the hospital. And they all sort of, you sort of see how they all learn things and sort of face their trauma. And they also show failure of facing that trauma, which is very realistic and very important, because sometimes in shows like these it's so easy, we represent it so beautifully. We're like, yes, this is the redemption arc, this is the storyline, and everything ends and it's all hunky-dory, and it's not that easy. Nobody goes into therapy and then comes out saying, yes, I'm cured, because it's not possible. So I love that element of the whole thing. I think it's a very, very good watch, but it's not something I'd recommend you watch for like just the heck of it. Like there are shows like Cinderella and the Four Knights is another show which is like very light, and there's no, there's feelings, there's cutesy romance, but it's not heavy. This is a heavy show. It's something which you sort of need to be in the right frame of mind to watch. But still, I would recommend it 100%, and I think you are going to love it. So if you do watch it, or if you have watched it, let me know in the comments below what you thought. Is there something I missed? Is there something I should have discussed? Are there any other shows I should watch? I love Korean shows. I love all sorts of shows. I am not bound by language or anything, actually. I just watch whatever seems interesting. So if there's something you think I would like, tell me in the comments below. And subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and I will see you later.